Hi everybody. What I want to show you right now is how to access SPSS through the MyCloud, which gives you virtual access to a lot of applications that you have the right to use as a UNCG student. So you'll start at the UNCG homepage and you just do a search for MyCloud from the internal search engine. And you can just go to the top one that comes up, MyCloud at ITS, and you just click on this yellow box, MyCloud Sign In. When you do that, you'll log on with your normal UNCG username and password, and you will be presented with the option to do a lot of different things. Okay, so once I click this box, I'm on the apps page. I'll show you this in a minute, but what I'm going to show you first is where you need to go to get your data files that you're going to use. So you'll go to desktops. I always go to this one. Maybe you guys go to this one. You might have to play with that a second. Well, I don't know what happens if I go to that one. Let me just go to this one, and hopefully if you go to the student one, it'll look the same as when I go to the campus one. I'm not sure, but I think it'll look the same. So I'm coming in here, and what I'm doing now is I'm going to kind of a virtual reality that is separate and distinct from my desktop that I have on my local computer. So it's a little bit tricky to think about, but one way that I can show you this is, oh, maybe I can show you this. See, this is my MyCloud desktop. See how there's nothing on it? Okay, let me minimize this. I might have to minimize a bunch of stuff. Hang on. Let me minimize that. Let me minimize everything. Look at my real desktop. Isn't that impressive? So the problem is that the MyCloud desktop and your local desktop on your computer are not the same thing. So this desktop doesn't speak well with the other desktop. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to go to a browser. Google Chrome is fine. And you'll want to go to Canvas from here. Bear with me. Let me pause while I go in there so you don't have to watch me. Hang on. Okay, so I just logged into Canvas. I went to SPSS assignment number 1. And from here you're going to get access to the data set. So when you click on this data set, it's going to give you a chance to save it somewhere. And I'm just reminding you again that this desktop is my virtual desktop. It's not the desktop that I can see from my normal computer. So I'm just going to save it here. And that's okay because you're only going to be working with it when you're in MyCloud. So it doesn't need to be locally stored on your computer. So now when I go back to, hold on, I'm going to pause you again a second. No, I'm not. When I go back to, let me close this, I think that'll close the browser, and I disconnect from the desktop because now I need to go back to that apps page. So just hang on, I think it's disconnecting. You can see the data saved there, so that's good. Okay, now I go to the apps page, and I'm going to scroll down and go to IBM Statistics. May as well use the most recent version, so go ahead and go to version 25. Click on it. Now when I go to look for my data, I'll be able to find it because I saved it in the MyCloud space. Okay, so this takes a second again. I'm going to pause you for a second. Okay, so it took a little time, but then this is what comes up, and it gives me a chance to open a file. So I'll click Open, and then when I look at my desktop here, I can see the data set that I saved. Now I shortchanged you a little bit, I guess, because it may be that you want to download the assignments as well and keep those all stored in the cloud desktop. I have 2 monitors at work, so I would, if I were doing it this way, I would have Word on my normal computer where I could access it and be working from that on my other monitor, but on this monitor I'd be in the cloud. So something for you to think about. I know it's confusing. I'm sorry for that, but just remember that the MyCloud space is a separate storage space from your local computer. And they don't talk well to each other. So once you're in MyCloud, you need to kind of do everything there. Otherwise, you're going to be going back and forth, and I think it'll be difficult. All right, let me know if you have any questions, especially if you think they might help others in the class. Take care. Bye.